Howdy, y'all. This is Thomas here, bringing some latest news fresh off the press. And the bear market continues. The bloodbath in the crypto market also continues, really targeting what was viewed as kind of the foundation of the crypto space was the stable coins, right? The stable coins was viewed as one of the key components, and I've mentioned it in previous videos, way kind of towards the start of the channel. And of course, if you're in my inner circle and stuff, and I was talking to you personally, then I would have told you this personally, even long before I said that, said this on the channel or even created the channel, was about um, the sticky point of the stable coins, and how it was a flawed system. It was not built on actual assets, but very dollar based in a way, obviously, because it's based on the dollar, right? So it's got that all debts, this legal tender for all debts, public and private, but that's just a promise. That's just a statement being put on there, but it's not technically backed. So by what asset? And then, is that asset even valuable for the investor, or even more importantly, does that value have resale value to somebody else? So if you want to, so that's another reason why you should like and subscribe. Just because I be, studying ahead. I spend my time doing some research, and really, um, you know, coming to logical conclusions that just happen to be a little bit foretelling. So of course, don't it's not always good to be on the pessimistic side, but you don't want to be head in the sand and getting gnawed on by a predator, pretending that everything's okay. So it's so that's just something really important. And this is here it continues. You got the DeFi lender left with a 35 million bad debt after quoting depegged stablecoins at $1. And I talked about this, was the how everybody was taking these out and staking them, with nothing backing them, and how you could really leverage up by using the staking, staking the stable coins. And this is just something that happened. So here's the quick take of it. Is the DeFi lending protocol Scream kept the price of two unpegged stablecoins hard coded to $1 on its platform. Okay, so that just means that it was cheaper than what it was showing on display. And then, of course, if there's a chance for arbitrage, and somebody's going to step in to make it happen. There's always going to be somebody willing to take advantage of the situation. Users borrowed other stablecoins on the cheap, leaving the DeFi lender with 35 million in bad debt. So they were using those stable coins that had unpegged, and purchasing stable coins that were still worth $1, that are still worth $1, and then taking them off the platform. And so here they are. They're left holding a $35 million bag. Scream, a DeFi lending protocol on Fantom. So this is bad news for Fantom. Fantom happens to be one of the stable coins that lost its peg, has incurred 35 million in bad debt after failing to adjust the price of two stablecoins that lost their US dollar peg. The stablecoins in question are Fantom US, so that's the ticker FUSD, and the DAI. Okay, both coins still have a quoted price of $1 according to the data from Scream's dashboard, yet are trading well below the peg. FUSD, that's the Fantom, fell to as low as 69 cents, while the DAI fell all the way to 52 cents at its lowest. So that's a lot of obviously it's just cents in single shares, but you multiply that, and there's a lot of money in that opportunity, in that arbitrage. The whales took advantage of this situation to deposit large amounts of FUSD and DAI at a discounted rate, and drained all other stablecoins from the Scream platform. So they drained them all. There's nothing left in there. Stablecoins like Fantom, the USDT, the Frax, the DAI, the MIM, and the USDC have all been siphoned off from the platform. So those liquidity pools are dry. Don't jump in them. because there's nothing in there. There's no water in there. You're gonna hit your head at the bottom. As such, users with supposed deposits of these stablecoins are unable to process withdrawals from Scream. The situation and things like this are just gonna, they're gonna. This is fuel to the fire for regulation and increased regulation and faster regulation and overreaching that we're sure to see. So, you got to take that into consideration when you're making your investments. That's why it's important to do research and to take adequate risk as well. You have to understand risk and have risk tolerance and understanding implied risk. The situation with FUSD, that's the Fantom, was also further exacerbated by the fact that the stablecoin's deposit limit was set to infinity instead of zero. Coupled with the FUSD becoming depegged, this situation allowed users to borrow large sums of money against the bad debt and drain the protocol's remaining stablecoins. The DeFi lending protocol has lost about 50% of its total value locked in its smart contracts, according to the DeFi Llama. Definitely, I like DeFi Llama, one of my favorite tools. Scream responded to the issue with the announcement stating that it is seeking a solution to the bad debt in conjunction with the Fantom Foundation. This workaround will involve liquidating all UFSD loans currently underwater. So that's a lot of sell pressure. With FUSD depegged, Scream says it will hard code the stablecoin's price to 81 cent. The solution could also liquidate other users whose positions were not previously at risk of liquidation. You got your Deuce Finance DAO, meanwhile, has proposed the treasury bond sales to restore peg stability to DAI. According to the proposal, the platform will serve treasury bonds. So basically, they're gonna go to the open market to try to raise capital. If you're unfamiliar with this, so I don't know what kind of rating you would give these bonds. I don't know if they're junk bond ratings. I'm sure the yields are going to be ridiculous and possibly quite unsustainable. So interesting to see how that plays out for users in exchange for collateral from in the form of USDC, DAI, and Frax. So yeah, there's definitely going to be some. It's going to be some hard some yield in there, but we'll see. As the bond market shows, it's starting to dry up in there as well. So I don't know how successful this attempt is going to be. DAI and FUSD are the latest stablecoins to lose their US dollar peg. Terra, yeah, we're familiar with the Terra. So yeah, that's a huge thing. Scream getting their butt whooped out there. $35 million lost, in bad debt and sure, I mean, with interest rates rising, those yields are going to have to be quite impressive. So I don't know if y'all are going to get into the into those treasury bonds or not. I'm gonna keep tabs on it and keep my eye on it and see what it's about, and then make an informed decision from there that fits in line with my portfolio goals, my long-term goals, all that type of personal individual things that you need to take into consideration for yourself. Of course, not financial advice. Do your own work and stuff. And yeah, thanks for coming along the journey. Like and subscribe and stay tuned. Check your seatbelt.